Germaine De Randamie versus Megan Anderson. Germaine De Randamie is the current UFC featherweight champion of the world, and she defeated Holly Holm at UFC 208 to solidify her championship. And Germaine De Randamie is a beautiful Muay Thai stylist, and she knows how to keep her range, and she's a great counter striker. She knows how to deliver tremendous power shots, and she's just such a beautiful striker to watch. She has a Muay Thai record of 37-0, so she's undefeated, and she's just an amazing Dutch kickboxer, while Megan Anderson is the current Invicta featherweight champion of the world. And at Invicta 21, she collided with Germaine Tweet, and she won the title. She landed a devastating blow in the second round. After a hard-fought 2 rounds, Megan Anderson has a tremendous right hand, and she's great at Muay Thai as well. She's great at pushing her opponent up against the fence. And we saw Holly Holm at UFC 208 have success in pushing Germaine up against the fence, holding her there, getting her underhooks in. Megan Anderson is great at that, and she's great at delivering power. She's 6 feet tall, so she's a huge featherweight. And she's going to come to UFC, guys, at some point. There's not too many 145-pounders. I want to ask you guys, the fans, how you feel about a collision between Germaine and Megan. Megan has great high kicks, and she's able to knock out her opponents and just devastate them. In her last 4 fights, she has 4 powerful knockouts. And in the Peggy Morgan fight, we saw a graphic, stunning knockout. It was all over MMA media. It was hard to look at. Peggy's face exploded, and it was due to the right hand of Megan. So if Megan can get her right hand in on Germaine De Randamie, it might be a short night for Germaine. And Germaine proved that she can go into the deep water. She does have the 5-round advantage here. She's 27 years old, 6 feet tall, like we discussed. And the Iron Lady, you know, she's 32 years old. She's 5'9". She fought at 135 pounds, while Megan Anderson is a true 145 pounder. Germaine, before UFC 208, we saw her on Embedded. She was eating heavily, and she didn't even get up to the 145-pound mark. So she's a small 145-pounder. She's going to have a size disadvantage in this fight, but she's going to have a speed advantage. And we saw how Holly Holm used her speed in the UFC 208 fight. Would Megan Anderson have the same speed? And I'm going to say no. And I feel like Germaine has an advantage in going into the deep waters. I feel like she could tire Megan Anderson out. I want to ask you guys, the fans, how you feel about that. Also feel like Megan Anderson has scary power, and she has that power early. She can hurt Germaine early. Germaine needs to be careful. She could also hurt Germaine later on in the fight, and she showed us that skill in the Germaine Tweet fight. It was a battle, and she just landed a knockout. It was surprising. You didn't know which way the fight was going to go, and then bam, Megan Anderson knocks her out. So I think Germaine needs to be careful of that. Megan's improving. If you look at pictures of younger Megan versus now, she's gotten a lot bigger. She's growing as a fighter. I want to ask you guys, the fans, how you feel about this fight. I'm not going to leave my opinion here. It's too early, but I think we're going to see this fight in next year, definitely by 2018. And I want to ask you guys, the fans, who you think would win, Megan Anderson or Germaine De Randamie?